Hello and welcome to the very first video of the very first segment of my brand new Paradox Interactive Historical Playthrough Mega Series Russia. We are going to dig in and explore the history, the culture, the conquests, the victories, the losses of the great nation of Russia. I am beginning a brand new mega series, Russia. Some of my previous series apostrophe, have been a country to a country. For example, the last series we just came off of was Portugal to Brazil, which was a fun episode. Or fun series, but this is just straight Russia. We are going to play 4 games solid, and so that is what my historical playthrough series is all about. It's playing through Crusader Kings, Europa Universalis, Victoria 3, Hearts of Iron, as the historical precursors of the nation of Russia. So a couple of disclaimers to get out of the way as we get started. Disclaimer number 1, this is not a tutorial. None of my videos are. I'm okay at these games, but I make a bunch of mistakes, and you could end up watching this video screaming at me like, oh my gosh, why did you do that? You're so stupid. You're right, I am. The primary goal is to play through as historically accurately as I possibly can. Disclaimer number 2 is I'm an American. I am not Russian. And so I'm not aware of various cultural or historical sensitivities that might offend you or something like that. It's not my goal. So please forgive me in advance, and you're welcome to comment and set me straight. I always say kindness is appreciated, but not mandatory. So if you want to yell at me, go for it. Let me go ahead and put up my source material. In addition to Googling, Wikipediaing, grokking, I'm doing somewhat of an interesting approach, I think, and that is my primary source material is the Russian primary Chronicle. The translation that I have here is by Rus and Sherbowizt-Wetzor. So this is a very, how to say this, kind of legendary focused source material where there's a lot of stories and fables in it, but I just thought that would be kind of cool. And so I'm going to play those out as actual history, even though there's going to be some somewhat fantastical things in these chronicles. And these chronicles were written by Christian monks, the original source material. But that's how we're going to roll with it. So let's go ahead and get started. Getting started, we first want to look at who this handsome man, Riurik, was. And there's a bit of a legend here that the Eastern Slavic peoples cried out for leadership, that they felt leaderless. Some of the source material shows this as being fairly debunked, historically speaking. But, like I said, let's just kind of roll with it. And so, in response to their cry, 3, well, really like Varangian princes, I always interpret that as like Viking princesses, not princes, came and answered the call. These 3 brothers. And so these 3 brothers came to rule over this land and divided it between the 3 of them, but the 2 brothers died, not by nefarious means, unknown causes, let's see. Okay. But in other words, I don't think Riurik murdered them or anything like that, and left him completely in charge. So something else that we're going to do during this video that's going to be kind of a big focus for us is a push down south to the area of Kiev. So that's going to not start with Riurik, but well, the push is going to start, but it's his son. I believe it was Oleg, but here it's Helgi. Perhaps those are two different versions of the same name, who ended up, and the Rus, as they came to be known, and is that his culture? I haven't actually, nope, there we go. Norse, okay. So yeah, that's not what they came to be known as, the Rus. And so they were also known as the Kievan Rus. And so that's what we're going to do. This whole video is going to be a push south with some historical sprinklings on in there to the area of Kiev to make that our capital. Because right now our capital, I believe, is Novgorod. Yeah, there it is. So that's how we're going to get started. And push south. I think I can do some things like, I think I can like declare myself king or something like that. Yeah, we can go ahead and make that. Might as well do it now. What do we need? Gold? Because it'll give me the renown necessary to do a proper war on this. So we'll go ahead and do that. And might as well do the duchy as well. Yep. And then I think I could right away, but I'm not going to do it right away. Where's my war declarations? Here we go. That this guy down here, I think I can declare on him. Yeah, there we go. And hit one of these. We'll go for the bigger one. But I'm going to wait on that for a little bit. And, you know, I need to get allies in place and all that sort of thing. But all that to say, that's going to be, I'm going to be pushing south to go after Kiev. Where this gets kind of difficult is trying to figure out where Kiev is. This is classic Crusader Kings difficulties where there's no Kiev. Now it brings up this Konugard. So let's zoom in on that, because Kiev is, I'm pretty sure, located right here along the Dnieper River, right in this area, I think. So I think what we're gonna do is head for Konugard, specifically this chiefdom here. And by the end of this video, I'm going to want to move our capital to this area. And we're going to kind of climb down the Dnieper River, which I believe is here, this one. And that's something that was of great importance to them, was the capability to use this river to bring trade and conquest with the Byzantines. So we're going to involve them as well, quite a few areas. So there's nothing clearly saying that here, but that's what I'm going to do, is choose this chiefdom to be my capital when we make the move. So everything is, I already said it, is going to be just a push to the south to head for Kiev by the end of the video. And hopefully get our culture converted as well, or hybridized, to become the Kievan Rus. Alright, I don't really have any allies, which kind of sucks. But let's get this warren underway. Okay, well, and again, we're going to follow the river on down, the Dnieper. So this is good. Let's go. Alright, let's see what this guy's gonna do to me. Enemy forms alliance. Oh boy. Alright, doesn't seem so bad. Alright, what are we gonna... Yeah, okay. Alright, I'm gonna get the war underway, and we'll push south. We've pushed down south a bit more, and so let's talk not about me, Riurik anymore, but about my son, Helgi. I think that's the Old Norse name for Oleg, Riurik's son. Well, it's actually not known that it was his son, but the person who inherited from Riurik was Oleg. It's looking like it's going to be Helgi, this guy. So it was Oleg primarily who did a lot of the conquering down south. Because I can't really, well, I could just switch to him if I wanted to, but it kind of doesn't really work out. And Riurik's been alive for a while longer, so I'm just going to sort of play as the two of them. And as I've already said, we're going to wind down the Dnieper River here. This is it right here. I'm tracing the path of it, right? And our goal is going to be to capture this county here. How do you pronounce it? Konogardr. Because we'll be able to do the decision of capital of the Rus. And we need to completely control Konogardr for that. So we're going to try to do that, well, now. But something else is I did just recently start playing Crusader Kings again with the Khans of the Steppes, is it? I forget which DLC that is specifically. But one of the things that they've given you in this is the capability to add tributaries. I don't think I can declare war on this guy without going... No, I guess I can. Okay. So, do I really want to conquer the entire duchy? Maybe. But I'm interested in this kind of bring under tribute kind of a thing. It won't extend my realm, but Oleg did do quite a lot of that to extend to as tribute, to get them to pay tribute. So we're gonna go ahead and do that. And I could call allies. Maybe I can call allies. I've made a couple big allies. But I always do my allies the courtesy of making sure that they're not in war, which they are. That guy is. Poland. That guy is. Alright, so that's fine. Let's just go ahead and try this on our own. I probably should have waited a little bit longer because I'm not really at full strength or anything like that. But let's see how it goes. And, I mean, this is a fairly small area, and he's not exactly strong. So we can probably just rush on down there real quick and see what we can do. Let's bring the kid down too. Is it my kid? No, it's somebody else, my steward. So we'll see how this goes, and if he indeed becomes my tributary. So that was a pretty easy win. And the way that it looks is he's got my colors, but he retains his own name. So that seems kind of sensible. What I'm going to do now is try and go after this guy. I think we could just do a county conquer on that, make that happen pretty quickly. Also, I don't think I need to call allies in for that one. Alright, so let's go ahead and just do a county conquer on this guy. No cost, I love it. And again, the reason I want to calm down the Dnieper. So the Dnieper River, because it poured out into... Is this the Black Sea? Pretty sure it is. Was a major trade route for the Rus at this point, connecting them to the Greeks, and we're going to talk about them later in this video. Let's go ahead and declare, get armies raised up, and then... Because that other war went really quickly. And if we can just get everybody... Oh, we're already there. Okay, so just go ahead and raise them up. And if we can get on that land... He's confused. To the charming... Who's calling me to war? Oh, this is my homie. Who are you going after? Ooh. Well, I don't know about that. I want that land. Join me in the Konogardr. Oh, he's trying to go after him. Okay, that's fine. Alright. Alright, gotta stick to the plan here. We'll push... What's this? Who's coming? Not a big deal. Alright, we'll let the kid go take the city. And... Am I gonna get him? Go, go, go. There we go. Easy peasy. Alright. That may have... Oh, wow, that was fast. Okay, yeah, see, that's what I thought. I was like, alright, this could happen really quickly. So we'll go ahead and do that. Extend the land down here. And now let's go down and defend my new tributary against the land of the people who are attacking him, which is the land that I want to occupy. So, I don't think I'm gonna... I don't think I want to declare on this guy right away. I do need to rebuild my strength, so but the problem is, if I help defend, will I have a 5-year truce on him? What can I do here? No, I can't, because I'm already at war with them. Yeah, so I've got no choice. The truce is coming. Alright, well, I'll tell you what. Let's get on down there and see what the battle's gonna look like. Ooh, it's looking good. He's like, whoa, I didn't realize I was gonna be fighting all those guys. Run away! Yeah. Not the mighty Riurik the Conqueror with his massive bonuses. Yeah, that's me. Oh my gosh. Okay. Alright, this is going to take me a lot longer, so let's cut it here and fast forward to the end. It's probably, unfortunately, just going to be a draw where it's like the conquest of Chernigov does not occur, and I really need that land to pursue my goals. So we're guaranteed another 5-year wait after the truce. I was very lucky that the truce, the war that just occurred, did not lock me up in a truce with this guy. That is awesome. So I think what I will do as Oleg, again, I'm still playing as Riurik, but as Oleg, I will do a subjugation on this guy and get down there and see if I can take over, because I can do the kingdom capital of Rus, but it'll do it as my current capital of Novgorod, which I don't want. Oleg did set up his capital as Kiev, hence the Kievan Rus. And so we're going to be working towards that overall goal, cultural hybridization and moving the capital and all that sort of jazz. So let's go ahead and just raise armies down here. And I won't make you sit through the whole thing again. Well, I didn't last time anyway, but we'll get on down there. He's pretty weak. Let's send the dude, the man, down there. And I think we should do okay. I could maybe call allies just in case. Yeah. Well. I mean, who did he call? That's not that big of a deal. Alright, I am mighty Riurik. I can go ahead and do this alone. So we'll go ahead and just see what we can do. Oh, I have a third army. That's cool. And I'll just bring him down for backup. Yeah, let's do it right there. Okay, we'll see what we can do. Try to subjugate this guy. He'll become my vassal, which I think is kind of rough because I don't think I can move my capital to a county that I don't own. Okay, war is won, so I can subjugate him as my vassal. And I guess the people that were attacking him immediately come to war against me, which is fine. Let's do this. Call in all the troops. Come on in. It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be a party. Yes, keep coming. It's like a crusade. Like, everyone's like, pile on, let's kill ourselves. Oh, what do you know? An instant win. So, alright, I don't know what's going on here. What do we get? They give us money. We get glory. Money and glory. What else is there, right? So, no problem. Alright, let's go ahead and disband. And what can we... I don't think I can. Well, being Crusader Kings, there is definitely more than one way to accomplish pretty much anything. So I went on a grand tour, and this guy refused to even let me into the gates. So I imprisoned him. He resisted. I crushed him and imprisoned him. So I could banish him or just straight execute him. Now, what I can't do yet is, here, okay, is revoke his title, because I still have a truce with him, despite the fact that he rebelled against me. Go figure on that one. But if I banish him, or whatever, his heir will get the title. What will he get? He'll get the entire Jarldom. And so, let's see what we can do with that. Not really interested in the kid being pissed off at me because I executed his dad. Although, does that do known criminal? Yeah, close family members. Okay, so not really interested in that. But what I can do is just straight banish him. And so, boom. He'll become an adventurer. That's fine. That'd be kind of interesting if he comes back and he's like, haha, revenge. Okay, so off we go. And so he's gone. And that should mean that the kid owns the title. Okay, and so I can abuse my... there we go. Revoke him. Alright, we're gonna do it all. He won't accept. Act of tyranny. I don't really care. Because I'm essentially seizing this land. Which is what Oleg did. He conquered the land. Okay, they eventually stopped running long enough to let me kill them, capture them. So we are going to enforce demands. There we go. Now, let's see what we've got. Okay, I had to give up a lot of land, but I can now move my realm capital here. So if I see what my... Well, this is my whole land because I own it all. But in terms of my domain, is there any way you can see visually? No. Okay, but all of this was done so that Oleg, again, I'm still playing as Riurik, but let's just pretend, right, can found the capital of Rus. And it is the chiefdom of Novgorod, which I'm pretty sure is Kiev. So let's go ahead and do it. There it is, Kiev. Okay, it switched, I think. It still says Novgorod. But that is exactly what I want. Oleg began ruling in Kiev once he conquered it. A few more things about Oleg, and then we're gonna move on. So remember, I'm not playing as him, but we're kind of pretending like we are. One of the things that Oleg did was raid the Greeks, and then formed a truce with them. So we're gonna try to do that right now. The Dnieper River was used as a sort of, well, a trade route, a raiding route. So I'm going to try to raise all as raiders. And I'm like confused by all these little things here. Okay, cool. I'm like, all right, what's going on? Now I understand what they're doing. So we'll get them all raised as raiders. And then we are going to raid. Now, Constantinople at this time was known as Tsargrad to the Rus. So we're going to head down to Tsargrad. Ooh, that's pretty nice. All right. And see what we can do. And can we raid by water? We can. Sweet. Raid army is smaller than the garrison. Okay, I rewound and made my army all merged my army so we can do the raiding that I was talking about. And the story that I was going to tell you is that Oleg encountered a magician, and he asked the magician, this is a legend, what would be the cause of his death. And the magician ended up telling him, it's the horse that you so love that will be the cause of your death. And so he told his groomsmen to go ahead and lead the horse away that he loved, keep it well fed, but never allow the horse in his presence. And so he did that, and then eventually, years later, Oleg asked his grooms, what happened to that horse that I loved so much? And they told him, well, it died. And so let's get a little bit greedy here and raid a little bit more, and then we're going to go home. And so when it died, he rejoiced and said, haha, show it to me. Show me the dead horse. And he sort of rejoiced over the fact that the magician's prophecy did not come true. And when he saw the skull and bones of the horse, he triumphantly stepped on it, the skull, crushed it, and from out of the skull came a poisonous snake which bit him and killed him. And that was the end of Oleg. And the prophecy supposedly came true. Now, Oleg is still alive, so is his father still alive. They're alive for longer than they need to be, but that was a fun little story to tell, and we got to raid Constantinople, Tsargrad, which was historically accurate, something that Oleg did, but then what Oleg did was made peace with the emperor, who doesn't seem to be having such a hard time with me raiding him, so that's kind of cool. The only way I don't have the diplomacy to be able to try and do a truce with him. So what I'm going to do is offer a hostage, and I'll give him my son, and we will do that and conclude a truce with the Greeks. And the truce that was done, there was a whole law that was set up where they agreed on the costs that would be paid for people who were killed, the costs that would be paid for goods that were stolen, that if you had a slave that was freed in my territory, I would return. Anyway, they really got into it, negotiated trade and all that sort of thing, and I guess we can go ahead and just disband this army now that we're done raiding. And so, there you go. Who says you can't raid somebody and then create a strong and lasting peace with them? So I think we're going to dump Oleg and Riurik at this point. I'm going to do a bunch of work and fast forward the time quite a bit, possibly by like 100 years, because I want to get us to 988 and wrap this video up. And there's a lot that happens during that time. I'm finally able to do something that I think we're going to really wrap this video up with. I'm closing off this video a lot earlier than I expected to. We've barely made any progress year-wise, but something is standing in the way, and that is I don't want to be Norse anymore. I'm not. You're not. I mean, this is about the Rus. And so I could convert to Russian, But there's some debate as to whether Russian is really like the actual culture at this time. So really it was all about the Rus. And so what I'm going to do is do a hybrid culture called the Rus. And we're going to have everything be Eastern European instead of Norse. Russian-ish names-wise instead of Norse. Continental European, Eastern Slavic. East Slavic was really kind of the language that was being spoken at this point. And then in terms of, again, all this, East Slavic, etc., in terms of tradition, we're going to keep, how's this pronounced? Druzhina? I'm going to keep all these things. That looks good to me. And we're going to go ahead and convert to the Rus. Okay. Also, that makes me the culture head, so I can go ahead and start choosing innovations, because I think that the AI chooses innovations in the stupidest possible way that they possibly can. Anyway, I'll get back to that later. So I am somewhat curious to see if... There we go. Remember this? Kiev. Here we are. I was wondering about this the whole time, right? So we are Rus. Our capital is Kiev. We are the Kievan Rus. So we got to have the name, and the name's changed to Novgorod. So, okay, fine. This guy, Igor, he ended up being killed in battle, and I'll close this story with a legend about his wife, who would have been Queen Olga. She ultimately converted to Christianity. When Igor was killed, to take revenge, this woman, crazy cool. The people that killed him were like, haha, you now need to pay tribute to us. And so she convinced them, okay, I will pay tribute to you, send your men, but we are so lowly, and we are so much your servants, that send your men in their boats and make us carry you in the boat. Make us carry the boat. And they did, and they were like, oh, that's great. Yeah, why not? We can totally rule over them. And they volunteered to carry our boat. So she carried their boat and dropped it into a big hole and buried them all alive. That was only part number 1. At that point, then she brought them into a bathing house and made them bathe, where she burned them all alive. Then she got closer to the people, I think it was Derevlians, who are in this area, I believe. She got closer to them and was like, oh, all of your emissaries that came to visit me, they just haven't shown up yet, but I'll come to you. And so let's all party. And so she basically had a murder feast and got them all drunk and killed them. And the final act, when they were completely beaten by her and holed up in their city, she said, you know what? I'm not going to seek tribute from you. I'm not going to seek treasure from you. Just send me pigeons, birds, so that we can sacrifice. And they were like, that's it? So they sent out all these pigeons to her, and she attached strings of sulfur to all the pigeons, lit them on fire, and the pigeons, being like homing pigeons, flew back into the city and set the entire city on fire. This woman was really upset that they killed her husband. Now, he's still alive in the game, but I have a lot of extra gameplay that I'm going to do before we get to video number 2, which is going to begin with Vladimir the Great. And a lot of big changes, but for now, I think we've gone far enough in the first of the exciting beginning of the historical playthrough mega series for Russia. I remain excited to do this. It's time to go kill my brothers and take over some land, but we'll do that later. And hope you watch video number 2. Thanks for watching.